apologize for that noise. They're fixing up some fences around my unit block, so yay to construction and prime filming time. Hello, my name is Indy and today I'm here to do the coffee book tag. Now, I didn't used to be a serious coffee drinker. Like, it was like a special treat that I used to do like once every week or two with my mom. Like, it wasn't a big thing. But now that I go to TAFE, I catch up with friends before and we get coffee. And now that I work at a coffee shop, it's like coffee every day. Like, I don't need it, but it's like a nice little treat thing to have. It's like a little sweet thing to have while I'm at work. I'm like, ooh. And I like trying different types of coffees, but like I can never go past a vanilla latte. That's like my favorite. This is what I had today. It looks a bit disgusting, but like I had a nice vanilla latte. It's the ice and a little bit of coffee now. But as I said, I'm gonna be doing the coffee book tag because I just wanted to do something fun and kind of recommend-y and just, I don't know, just a tag. It's been too long. So without further ado, I'm gonna get into the question. This tag was originally created by Bangity Bangs here on BookTube. Question 1 is Black, a series that is tough to get into but has some hardcore fans. And for this one, I feel like it's not gonna be a surprise to anyone out there, is Throne of Glass by Sarah J. Maas. One of my goddamn favorite series just in the entire world. I love this series so much. It is a difficult series to get into because it is such a high fantasy series and it's just so much intensity, so many characters and everything. You know, you're not drawn in by the first book. It takes such a dramatic twist at about the third book that it doesn't even like correlate to the first book, but this series is just like epic proportions. Like, I've never read a series other than Sarah's other series, A Court of Thorns and Roses, that is just so all-consuming and so different and so intense. High drama and action and just the world building is insane with so many different characters. So this one is a difficult, I could say, for some people to get into. You will not regret it if you love fantasy. Question 2 is Peppermint Mocha, which I don't understand what that is, so obviously this is an American book tag. Name a book that gets popular during the season. I feel like in Australia, since it doesn't get cold, there's no really Christmassy themed books other than like taking the mickey out of it being like, or like Santa in his singy and shorts, but other than that, I'm gonna go for a classic, which is Harry Potter series by J.K. Rowling. Even though it is like an American Christmassy winter book that is described, I feel like a lot of people like to read this for Harry Christmas to You, which is always a popular theme here on BookTube. So I thought, you know, Harry Potter, Christmas, it just goes. Question 3 is Hot Chocolate, your favorite children's book. Now for this one, I had to give my mum a good old call and ask her about what the name of the books were. There were many books that I read as a youth, but I think the ones that probably mean the most to me, Cocky's Little Circle Books. Now I know the name sounds ridiculous, so I'll put some photos, but essentially my mum used to, when my sister and I went to the shops with her, she would go and buy this book for like $2, and we had like 100 of them and we put them in a rainbow. They used to always be in my room, and they're just like little picture books for kids and they're just like cute little stories. My favorite was The Brownest House on the Street, so it might be just a strictly Australian thing, but they were just such great books. My mother was ingraining me into the reading young by getting us books when we went to the shops with her. Yes. Question 4 is Double Espresso, a book that had you on the edge of your seat from start to finish. And for this one, I feel like I always talk about it, so who even cares anymore? The Six of Crow series by Leigh Bardugo. Oh my god. The series. So much adventure, action-packed. Like, sure, the beginning might be a bit slow, but you get attached to these characters so quickly and into what is happening in their lives, and just it's all about the heist. So I think that it's all-consuming really, because you know you're interested to find out what they're gonna do, and then you know if something goes wrong. I love this series so much, and you guys know that because I talk about it way too much. But yes, definitely from start to finish, especially book 2, Crazy Town. Question 5 is Starbucks, a book you keep seeing everywhere. Now, I wouldn't say that Starbucks is fully assimilated into Australian culture, but anyway, a book that you see everywhere, and at the moment I haven't got it myself. Carve the Mark by Veronica Roth keeps showing up everywhere. Anytime I go to the bookshop, and I have for the last couple months, I just keep seeing Carve the Mark. It's like posters and it's right there, and it just seems to be everywhere. Well done, Veronica Roth. You've assimilated yourself into my life. Question 6 is The Hipster Coffee Shop. Give a shout out to an indie author. And for this one, I wouldn't say that she's necessarily an indie author, but I just want to give her a shout out because I've met her and she's lovely, and that is Kirsty Eagar. She's an Australian author who is originally from central Queensland, but she now lives down south in New South Wales. But I had the lovely chance to meet her a while back. Not that I've read any of her books, but I'm still going to give her a shout out. Her most recent book was Summer Skin, which is contemporary, but she has written a couple paranormal but generally contemporary books. So shout out to an Australian author there, go check her out. Question 7 is, oops, I accidentally got DCat. Name a book you were expecting more from. And for this one, I'm gonna go with Landline by Rainbow Rowell. I was expecting a lot more from this book. I found it was actually very sad. It was very repetitive in that the story didn't really progress very far or quickly or anything. It was very much the same of the main character Georgie just like being sad and then trying to speak to her husband's past self, and it just sort of kept falling back and forth. It didn't progress further, and so I didn't really enjoy this story very much. It's not to do with anything that it was an adult book or anything. I didn't enjoy the story as much as I thought I was going to. I thought it was going to be really cool to be going back and speaking to the main character Georgie's husband from the past, but it wasn't as thrilling as I thought it was going to be, and it was a little bit of a disappointment for me. Question 8 is the perfect blend. Name a series that was both bitter and sweet, but ultimately a satisfying series. And for this one, I feel like another classic me choice. The Immortal Instrument series by Cassandra Clare. This is the last book, A City of Heavenly Fire. This series had its ups and its downs, and it is very now a series that a lot of people know due to the TV show and the movie, but this series holds a special place in my heart. I have spoken about many a time, and so this was one of my first book series that I really got into, so it was bittersweet when it ended because it had been such a long part of my life, and especially being 6 books, it was something really special to me, but it was also still so sweet having such a great ending to the series, and you know, following on to the other series by Cassandra Clare. It's not over, but it also is at the same time, and it's just such a great series, so it was the perfect blend. So that is it for the coffee book tag today. I don't know who I should really be tagging for this, so I'm not going to tag anyone. Go ahead, I don't know, there's a lot of coffee lovers out there, and I'm starting to get there with the coffee love. Like, I enjoy my daily coffee now. I'm just hoping that I don't get addicted. But thank you so much for watching this book tag, and I will see you in my next video. Bye! Hello, my name is Indy, and the coffee. Dude, look, my highlighter is so strong. It's so strong. Name a book that was both bitter. Damn it. Train. I live on a train line as well. It's very quiet because I've closed all the doors and windows, but this is a constant, but it's fine.